Sleeper team.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the post game. I'm your host, Davion. I'm joined by Matt
What up?
and Oronde.
What's good?
And today we are continuing our Let's Talk NFL series. Today we are talking about the Denver Broncos. How we start all of these, we ask the question of how do we think this team will do? Where do y'all think, and how do y'all think the Broncos will do going into this season or going into next season?
Sean Payton's got to back up his trash talk, so I'd expect him to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I
Also,
agree.
Russell does look healthy as well.
Yeah.
I think Denver low key could be a surprising team this year. Um, yes, they were awful last year. Russell Wilson had one of his worst seasons we've ever seen. They are getting Javonte Williams back, which is huge for this offense. They still have Judy and Sutton. They beefed up their O-line, getting Ben Powers and Mike McGlinchey, I believe that's his name. Two really solid players. Easily will make that O-line 10 times better. Their defense has always been good, so I'm not really worried about that. They could probably compete for second place, but I feel like more likely they'll be third in this division. So
Yeah. My thing is that like I think last season Russ was hurt and he was more in his brain than anything else. I also think that when you look at that team as a whole last season, they were coached by a bum, by a peasant, by a man who doesn't know what he was doing at all. So that makes complete
Just
sense.
took a hack at it, no pun intended.
Exactly. Idiot. But like, I mean, they have a top defense. They have a star quarterback in Russ. They have receivers that should be able to help them. They have receivers that should help them like get to the point that they want to be. So if anything, the problem was coaching. Was an injured Russ. So I mean, you have one of the greats at head coach now, Sean Payton. So you expect them to look a lot different. And I think the expectation of last season should be put on that team for this season. I don't think we should be giving them the very low, like, they'll be okay. Like, I think they'll be third in that division because they are in one of the hardest divisions with the Chargers and Chiefs. But, you know,
Remind me, is Elway still part of the front office?
I think he left. No?
Did he just leave? So I was just thinking in my head, how the hell did he lure Sean Payton back into coaching?
It was the Walmart people. They cut a check. They cut a
yeah,
bag for
he stepped down as the GM
Oh yeah,
back in
that's right. That's right.
2021. Um, yeah,
I had
so
forgotten about
probably
that.
not.
yeah.
But I pulled up their money because money rules all. They're paying mostly their defense towards the top outside of Mr. Sutton and Mr. Wilson. But will will they get their money's worth? Because they're still getting their money's worth out of Judy because he's still in a rookie deal.
Yeah.
So nothing to worry about there. But you got Justin Simmons, you've got Randy Gregory, DJ Jones, Josie Jewell. You got a lot of people that need to play for their worth here. Get their money's worth out of them. Also, they didn't do. I mean, this is an understatement. They didn't do too hot last season. I mean, we were making memes out of Russell Wilson for better half of the season.
Oh, yeah.
So they've got a little bit of an expectation to live up to.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And I think like that expectation is justifiable and it should be like that. Like we should be expecting them to win football games. And what they had, what, 6, 7 wins last season?
I think it was just 7.
Like that's whatever it is, like that's just not okay. That's not what you expect out of a team like that at all. And so yeah, they really need to tighten up. if they wanna make a push in this division. Because like again, you have the Chargers who did nothing but build pretty heavily this offseason, and the Chiefs who just
Oh,
came off a Super Bowl.
oh,
So
I'm sorry. Denver had 5 wins. We were too
5
generous.
wins.
Denver,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, there's no way they had 7. That
They
doesn't
got
sound.
out just so we can put this into perspective, they got outscored to 359 points to their 287 points for the season.
Yeesh. That's bad.
I mean, they were last in the division for a reason. So it's
Even
When
crazy.
you're worse than Vegas, you're doing something wrong.
that's what I was
Right.
about to say. Like, if you're worse than the Raiders, then somebody's awful.
Shout out Ben DiNucci. Still in the NFL roster.
That's crazy.
QB3. Shout out.
Yeah, I mean,
I just realized they have a lot of running backs.
they need to stay healthy. I mean,
They
I
got
really don't know what else to say to this team, though.
they got
Like,
Tyler Batty, Tony Jones Jr., Jaleel McLaughlin, Samaje Perine. I forgot he was there, by the way, and
it would be really
Javante
good for them.
Williams.
Let's see. Do we want to look at their schedule just one time, just to
Yeah.
see?
We can take a peek. We can take a peek.
Okay, so week 1 is the Raiders, as we said.
Yeah.
They can win that. Commanders, that's actually a pretty interesting game.
I'll take the Commanders on that.
Okay.
Really?
Miami, I don't know. Wait, you think Commanders on that one?
Commanders?
They are my sleeper pick.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, while we're on the topic of the Commanders, real quick, they have the fifth worst record odds / fifth best odds to win the #1 pick, and the Raiders are 6. Just to keep that in mind.
Okay. Okay, so week 3 is Miami, so they'll lose that. Then they play the Bears.
I expect
I-
300 yards and 4 touchdowns from Justin Fields.
No way. That'll be a
Dang
close one though. I think Denver wins that though, just because of coaching in
I
general.
really just tried to
we'll
get
go
a
there.
reaction from Davion, and he didn't bite.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said Fields was gonna pop off on the Denver defense.
No.
No,
Just stop.
no,
Just stop.
no.
Ain't happening.
Lame.
Then after the Bears, they play the Jets. So I think the Jets win that one.
And
Then they
then
play the Chiefs. Uh-oh. Then they play Green Bay. That's
play the Chiefs again.
honestly, yeah, Chiefs, Bills, Vikings, Browns. That's a tough 4 games right there.
Yeah.
Houston, that should be easy. It's December in Houston, so it's never good. Chargers, they'll probably lose that one. Detroit, that's a great game
It's gonna be a
in
good one.
Detroit. Detroit probably has the edge, I think. I think Detroit's gonna be strong this year. New England is a toss-up.
I'll
Sure.
accept that, but I'll gladly put an exorbitant amount of money on New England winning.
And then they finish off with the Chargers and the Raiders. So realistically, yeah, like maybe 4 to 3 wins is their floor. Ceiling like 8 to
I think 9 wins is
7,
their ceiling.
8 to 9, yeah, something like that.
Something to note: they have the literal middle of the road when it comes to strength of schedule, because they're tied with the Seahawks and the Chargers when it comes to their strength of schedule.
Okay. I mean, we'll just have to see. This is
I think with the script writers being on strike as well, I mean, they have a decent chance to be better. What?
Absolute idiot. That's very funny on so many levels. Thank you for that.
They do still have the opportunity to prove a lot of people wrong. Do we expect it from them? No, but if they do well, then we're happy with it.
Here's my
Here's
thing.
my only.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my only concern with this team, if they end up, let's say they have a good first half of the season, the back half they might like if they actually have a chance to make the playoffs, they probably won't because of how bad the back half of their
If they
schedule is.
if they win if they win 4 of the first 6, if they win half of the first 6, or 3 to 4 of the first 6, then that gives them a good chance to finish off strong.
Right. But
And I
from
think I think that
we
that I think that catalyst game is going to be the second Chiefs game. Because
right.
if you don't have it together by then, obviously the season's lost. But it's also we have to see you against playoff caliber teams to have any expectations.
I agree, and I feel like if whenever they do play these games, like against the Bill, like against the Chiefs, against the Chargers, like these are deep playoff teams, and like if they can't compete against these teams, then I think you call the season a wash. Like you call it over
Right.
because if they can't, then there's no point.
No point's
I
an
mean
understatement.
Yeah.
are we expecting them to make the playoffs this year, or are we expecting
Like I
another
like I said about the who was I thinking of? I think the Panthers. It would be nice to see them kind of jump to that wild card spot,
right?
make
But
an improvement.
the AFC again is so strong. Denver would be a cool team to see in the wild card. I think it'd be a really impressive story and just that entire franchise, what they've been through the last couple of years, just how awful they were. But man, I mean, you got to pray like the Jets aren't good. You know, maybe
You gotta pray the
the
Jets aren't good. You gotta pray that
the
those
Browns aren't good.
those rookie
Like,
quarterback teams aren't good. Like you gotta pray that the Colts aren't competitive or Houston aren't competitive. I mean, there's a lot for the Broncos to easily squeak in, and I don't think it's gonna be like that. Ooh. Anywho, any final thoughts you have on the Broncos?
Nah, I
no, I don't think
if
so.
Russell pops off for a 3K yard season, that'd be pretty cool. I think it'd be nice.
That's it.
Um,
How many did he have last season? I kind of forgot already.
Like
I will
he'll
Because
look.
they were I think they were dead last
He
when it came to points a game. I think it was on like 16.9 points a game.
he had 35
35?
24 for his yards, 16 touchdowns to 11 picks.
Russ, if you're listening, I need you to cook. Give me another 35, but throw another 6 touchdowns on that. And you'll have a good season.
Uh,
Also, maybe throw better than 60%. That'll also do you some good.
I mean, it's like going back to Pete Carroll with Sean Payton. I think it'll be fun. I think he'll be fine.
Also, okay, while we're on the topic though,
Oh boy.
um, I wasn't gonna let this slide. Russell was third in rushing on the team behind
that's bad.
Latavius Murray and Melvin Gordon. Third.
Really?
That's what I was gonna say. I'm hoping Javante has a
He averaged more yards a
comeback.
carry than the rest of his running backs besides Marlon Mack. And Marlon Mack only played 6 games.
It's a bad look.
It's
I
bad.
It's a bad look.
I
He had
think
21 first downs on the ground.
yeah, I think it's gonna be completely different now though. I guess it's a different.
Okay. And lastly, does Justin Simmons back up another good defensive season with 6 or more interceptions?
I think so. This is a really good secondary they have.
Yeah, they do.
Um,
One of the better ones in the league.
right. I mean, him and Surtain alone,
Okay.
easily top 5, top 10 at their positions. So, um, I could definitely see it. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot of holes in this defense looking at it.
Yeah.
Obviously they lose Evero, but it's not a big problem with the coaching
not a
staff they
huge
have
hole to
now.
fix.
Yeah, right. It's basically gonna be the same scheme anyways. So,
Easy.
yeah.
I hope they don't have to do any last minute kicking situations because Brett Maher is signed with them for a year. He's not the most dependable dude.
Sean Payton doesn't really like to play it close. We'll see some. I definitely think we'll see a completely.
Oh, and I guess we have to talk about this because it was on the team. They did have another victim to the gambling situation. He's out indefinitely,
It's like
Mister.
annoying. It's annoying
What
me.
is it? E
Yeah, good
Ayoma
luck pronouncing that.
Uwazurike. It's funny. I can say Japanese names better than I can say African names. It's real shame, real shame. But yeah, it is what it is. Luckily, we're going from one of the worst defensive teams to one of the best. So let's get a move on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we appreciate you guys for listening. Broncos fans, tell me how you feel about your new addition at head coach, and how do you think Russ will do? I have been your host, Davion. That's Matt Oronde, and this has been the post game. Peace.